Hello. So this is how to talk to your children about racism and the protest. I found an article online that helps with this very topic. It starts off with telling you the story of Ishmael Abdus Sador. Swabor. If I mess that up, you know. Um, and his son Musa, 8. They were relaxing inside the West Philadelphia home when the phone started buzzing. It was an alert. A citywide curfew was about to begin. Musa glanced at his father. I knew I had to start talking about what was going on, so I tried to explain things for an 8-year-old. Then he says, Daddy, are we going back to being slaves? The fact that he connected those, I can't even remember the last time we talked about slavery. It pierced right through my heart. What do you tell your kids when the world feels chaotic, when it erupts with frustration from the killing of yet another African American by police? As cities across the country fill with protests over the death of George Floyd at the hands of the Minneapolis officers, children of every background are listening. A pandemic is already ravaging our lives, and when kids are shut indoors, eyes often are glued to the TV or smartphones. News spills in from sources near and far. Whether you regularly talk to your child about race and injustice or you have struggled to find the words, how can you help your kids make sense of what's happening today? It's challenging. Many parents, including the parent I mentioned before, will tell you they truly don't know, and there certainly isn't a universal answer. Experts do say, however, to let your child guide the way. Create the space for children to ask questions, and even for the smallest child, they will guide you on what they want to know and what they're ready for. But first, you need to create the right space within your own mind before initiating the conversation with kids of any age. Experts stress making sure you're calm. So, the article continues with Jasmine walks east along Lancaster Ave with her children on Thursday, May 7th, 2020. Behind her is an abstract painting on a plywood covering the front of 4241 Lancaster Ave, telling people that pass it to keep your heads up. So, they broke it down by age group for this article, and they start off with talking to toddlers. Little ones can't understand what's going on right now, but they can absorb parents' emotions. If your stress is on display, this may cause your toddler to start acting out, or struggle in areas like potty training, where progress has been made just days ago. They might also be clingy. They have a sense that the world is dangerous. It's more important to them to see that you're okay. Give them the gift of being with them because they need you right now to draw security. Make sure that your child feels safe is the first priority. But this is the age when you should also start conversations about race. Babies as young as 6 months are shown to detect race-based differences. By age 4, the bias starts to take root, and by age 12, that's when the beliefs become set and it becomes harder to change them. Some kids will start the conversation without you even asking. I'm originally from the Philippines, so often have young kids ask me about that, and I answer by discussing how people have different skin tones and how that's a wonderful thing, how that adds to the strength of our community. There are books that are great resources out there about this. I never started talking to my daughter about race. She did ask me questions. As she got older, she noticed that there were people of different color than her. She asked me questions and I answered them. But I guess it never occurred to me really to talk about it until that point when I thought she could understand. Anyway, so next is talking to preschool and elementary age kids. By age 5, you can introduce conversations around empathy. They're like sponges at this age, and when a sense of self is still forming, start to teach them about ideas like putting themselves in another person's shoes, because children at this age are so receptive. Limit their screen time. Preschool and elementary age kids are not yet capable of what we call abstract thinking. What they see, they interpret as reality. Early school age children are very concrete thinkers. So when they watch the news, which is repeating displays of the worst that's happening out there, they believe it's happening right outside their window. Kids may begin to internalize the images they see and create their own ideas about their safety. We had a discussion. This one is something that's someone's talking. So it says, we had a discussion with our 7-year-old about what's going on. And one of her immediate reaction was anxiety about how all the police are out to get her. I gave her a space to get angry, to yell, to upset, and then when things calmed down, we dove into the conversation about how not all cops are behaving badly, it's just some cops. Even with the TV turned off, kids can pick up on conversations. The good news, young children tend to be very inquisitive, which invites you to address misinformation and concerns. I actually had to talk to my daughter about what diversity was the other day, and what race was, and she seemed to pick it up great, no question, like, she didn't even have any questions about it, so, but it is difficult to talk about what's going on right now, especially with the pandemic going on as well, because, you know, they're forced to be inside. Anyway, talking to preteens and teenagers. As kids move beyond grade school, they develop into more complex and abstract thinkers. This is often around the time that Black families have the talk, a discussion passed on from generation to generations about how to engage white people and law enforcement to remain safe. I actually was just reading this on Facebook the other day. There were some people of color who were talking about things that their parents taught them, so that they can remain safe. Part of the myth around the talk is that it is considered to be one talk, but really it's a series of conversations, and when things like this happen, it brings an opportunity to open those back up. You reaffirm that it's not fair, that these rules might not apply to your white friends, but this is how you have to behave to stay safe. Always create a space for your kids to ask questions. By middle school, if not a year or two before, parents of every race should be addressing systematic racism. White families should address the unfortunate realities of what the talk looks like for Black families versus their own. Children of color have to have the talk as a matter of safety, but white children need to have the talk as a matter of justice. Racism is a subject that hurts people of color, but it hurts all of us because we can't build the best world until everyone can become their best selves. This is a solution that involves all of us. As for the protests, teenagers are more likely to have feelings of unrest. Many may want to get involved. Experts say you should encourage them to talk. If they're outraged, they need to let it out. Teenagers are idealists, and this is an amazing opportunity for them to envision a better world. We have to let them know that their anger is justified and that they should work hard to create a better reality, while also emphasizing the need to express frustration in a way that keeps their community and themselves safe. So that was just that I liked that article a lot, so I just wanted to share it I wanted to explain it for myself. Myself growing up, my parents really never had a talk with me about it. I learned everything from school and asking questions to my friends. But anyway, thanks for listening. Hello. So this is the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me, basically. I make these videos for myself, but it helps knowing that if somebody else liked it. So, thanks for watching.